Caps' second goal, Connor McMichael gets a breakaway. Here is the first frame here. You can see Kevin Korchinski and Grizzly are the two defensemen. The puck is coming to the middle of the ice, and both of them seem to be in fine position. Now, you can see the opportunity for the pass from Leonard to McMichael is there. Kevin Korchinski is still watching the puck and not turning around. And watching the replay for the first time, I said, why is he not turning around? Now the puck has passed him at center ice. He's still not turned around. And while he does have a little bit of responsibility to the trailer, you can see he has a better angle on Michael than Grizzly does. So he should be turning now. Let's go another frame. Finally, as the puck enters the Hawks zone, he begins to turn. By then, it is way too late. Connor McMichael is long gone, and he is scoring on Drew Comesso, and Kevin Korchinski can only stand there and watch as Matt Grizzly tries to catch up. Again, yes, he does have some responsibility to that trailer. He did check his shoulder about half a second before this final frame we're showing. That's the sort of stuff that red flags me, because that's up here, right? We talked earlier in the show about Ryan Green and his instincts and his understanding of the game. I think you see a lot of that too from Matt Grizzly, where what he lacks in Alex Vlasic or Louis Crevier's size, he makes up for in understanding of the game, understanding of angles, understanding when to turn and when not. I remember a conversation I had early in the season with Wyatt Kaiser where he said, Jeff Blashill does not like us skating backwards. If a guy is on the move, you're not gonna stop an NHL player skating backwards. You've got to turn and try to catch him, right?
Beat him on the spot.
Yes, Korchinski turned way too late. I also shared this video with a buddy of mine who's a scout and said if you watch closely, Korchinski actually crosses the wrong way too, which took him even more out of the play. So coaching, probably a little. So maybe a little bit of time up here in Chicago, if that's indeed what it's going to be. He can work with NHL coaches to work on when to turn, when to read. But a lot of that, what I saw in that play was instinctual. And to me, that's a little bit concerning.
Yeah, they, we've said it many times, and it usually applies to younger hockey players. A thinking hockey player is a slow hockey player.
Yes.
And that looked like a guy thinking too much out there and just not letting the play happen and react. More of, I got to watch the trailer as the guy is blowing by you. The trailer's not getting the puck when he's on a breakaway. So you got to, at that point, you've got to say, I need to get the puck carrier because either he's going to get a breakaway or if I can catch him, he's not going to be able to pass it to the trailer anyway.
Right.
So what's the point? But definitely looked like a kid thinking too much out of that on that. And those are the types of things that, if they're going to get out of his system, it's only going to happen by playing here at the NHL level. So I don't think this is this call up is for very long.
No.
He's going to make the trip to Nashville tomorrow just because they don't know if anybody, but I would imagine once they get healthy, he'll go back to Rockford. I do want to see him up here for an extended run where they're going to say, as I said, when Bedard and Nazar both got hurt, I said that was the perfect time to bring him up and go to 11-7 and get him in those spots that are advantageous for him and build up his confidence. Tonight wasn't one of those nights. No. So, trade deadline comes and goes shortly after the Olympic break. Maybe you have a spot open. That's when you bring him up here and say, okay, 20 games left of the season. You're playing in all 20 games. It's your make it or it's your prove it, because he's going to be due for a new contract at the end of this year. Not saying they're not going to re-sign him, but they may be looking to make some trades, and he's going to be a guy that probably comes up in a lot of trade conversations.
Yeah.
Do you give him like that, Lucas Reichel type 2-year, Philip Kurashev type deal? That's what he's heading towards. You got to prove it. He got passed up by Levshunov and Rinzel, Crevier passed him.
Delmastro a little bit too.
Yeah, a little bit. But as far as like Rinzel and Levshunov and Korchinsky kind of play that kind of style, while Delmastro is more of a stay-at-home, physical guy. Mm-hmm. They don't play the same style, but it's tonight was not encouraging, but it's one game.
It's one game in
It's
a
one
weird
game,
situation.
Yeah,
But it is my. I was excited to see him, and I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't incredibly disappointed with his performance.
I hope he plays tomorrow just to get him out there again, more prepared, and let's see how he rebounds. If they play him tomorrow night and he has another game like tonight, then the concerning is getting even more.